BLD is a really great way to be involved in a patient's healthcare that's kind of more behind the scenes. So the patients don't always see us around, but that doesn't mean that we're any less important to their healthcare. Basically, whenever you go to the doctor to give any kind of specimen, we're the people who end up getting it and running all of the testing on it to help aid in the diagnostics of their care. Undergrads can have two pathways within the program. So there's medical laboratory science and histotechnology. And the difference between those is medical laboratory science track students deal with bodily fluids, and histotechnology students deal with tissues. And we also have a master's program now too, which is just the medical laboratory science side of that. It provides a lot of varied experience, which is really great when you're entering the job field. You get a lot of experience in like chemistry, blood banking, microbiology, hematology, phlebotomy, and that can take you a lot of different ways when you graduate. So you can work in a hospital setting, you can work in like forensics labs, you can go on to do research, you could just do phlebotomy if you wanted. There's a lot of really great possibilities to go on, and you can even go on to grad school if you'd like. Medical school, we have a lot of students that end up moving on to things like that. A lot of them go to hospital labs, but there are a lot that also go into research or that do go on to graduate school programs. It does prepare you really well for medical school, but we've had people go on to dental school before too. There's really a lot of different pathways. It's kind of endless. Medical laboratory science deals with your bodily fluids, so that's talking like your blood or urine. And histotechnology deals with tissues, so that would be like if you got a biopsy at the doctor, they would kind of be the people who get that. Yeah, it's definitely a really great pathway if you want to further your career in the medical field. You learn a lot about different diseases within the program and also what those tests look like. And as if you say go on to be a medical doctor or something, I mean, you're getting these patients' results back, you already kind of have that base understanding of, oh, this is what that kind of means. Or like, I don't know, there's a lot of different things that go into the lab, and it kind of helps take some of the mystery away from that, I think. They start out by doing their prerequisite courses the first 2 years that they're here at WVU. And then when they enter their third year, that's when they kind of focus in on these specific classes in the program when they learn like their chemistry and hematology and things like that. And what's really cool is we have a mix of lecture and lab. So you spend a fair amount of time in lecture, but then you also get to apply what you've learned in your lecture by doing the labs. So you do that for your third and the beginning of your fourth year. And then we actually send students out to actual hospitals to do a practicum semester where they get real experience working in a lab and working alongside medical technologists who have been working for years and years, which is really cool. Morgantown's great. I mean, like I said, I've lived here for years now. They've got a lot of really cool restaurants that you can try out, a lot of really cool places to hang out with your friends. My favorite is Black Bear Burritos, and my favorite coffee place is Mountaineer Roasting, but they've got a ton of them. So if that's not what you like, then there's always others to try. And the sports life is really great if you're into sports. The fan base here is kind of like unique in that aspect, I think. Personally, for me, what I loved about the program when I went through it was that they have a pretty small teacher to student ratio. So you feel like you're getting a lot of like individualized attention. So when you have questions, you always know that your professors are there to provide an answer, provide you some help or advice on where to go. And I mean, I kept in touch with my professors years after I graduated still, and they've helped me in many ways in my career. So I think that's something that's really special about the program.